Hello, I'm Stellan. I'm presenting system software compiler lab experiment 3 to create a simulation for microprocessor. Microprocessor basically converts the program into a shorthand version. So in our program here, we'll be recognizing the macro definitions and calls and converting them to converting the definitions to the values. So going to the code directly. So we put the necessary Java packages and we go to a code. So we start by defining for 5 arrays. Later I'll be explaining why these arrays are used. We initialize the necessary variables and so file data here is used to read from a file. So this file, as you can see here, is our input file and this file is our output file. And buffer reader here helps us to read the file from the input file to a program, and read line function here helps us to read it line by line. So once we get into the loop, we first check for the first array value whether we find hash define or not. So if we don't find, the loop keeps going until we find define. Once we find define, we set I as 1 and back as 0. So we the second element in array called ARR, we convert it to character array called CHA, and we run a for loop from 0 to the length of the character array, and if we find open parenthesis we set bracket is equal to 1. Otherwise, that is when we don't find open bracket, that is when we have variable. So when we have variable, we just store the value of the first definition, that is suppose the definition is A is equal to B. So the first value A will be stored in the array con and B here will be stored in the array con1. Like for in this input, the word PI will be stored in the array con and 3.14 value of con will be stored in the array con1. So else if there is a function, we do the same thing and we store, this time we store the values of add in con2. This x will be stored in con3 and the value of x here will be stored in con4. So once we do that, so that's how we store the values. And so else, that is when we don't find hash define, this is what we do. We enter into a program, we have counter initialized as 0 and then we check for matches with a first element of the array and the element in the con counter, that is we check for the word pi. So when we find a match, we replace when we find a match, we replace pi with the value in the con1 counter, that is wherever pi comes, we replace it with 3.4. Same for the function. In this loop, what we do is find for a match with the word add and x. Once we find that, we replace the word letter x with its value, that is x plus z. So that's the program. And br close and pw close. Pw.print is used to print the output, and br is used to close the file. So if I run the program here, see the input file as a C program, output file is empty as of now, and when I run the program, so the program I've run. So this program, as you can see, I've used the word pi and inside add I've given y. So if I go to the output file, wherever pi came, the value has been changed, replaced with 3.14, and instead of add y, we now have the value of y, that is y is equal to y plus z, which was the definition of function. So that's our program. Thank you.